Namaskaram. I hope you all are doing well. This is Shora Bhattacharjee. In today's video, I'm going to continue on my previous few videos where I've shared my experience about the inner engineering course by Sadhguru. And I had shared 5 or 6 steps in which I've shared my experience on what my experiences was after each and every session and every step that I had completed, and I've shared my raw experience on each one of them. Now, in this video, I'm going to share about how I got initiated by Sadhguru on this Sambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, and which was on November 26th. So, I'm going to share my experience. But before that, I want to tell you, and this is like a disclaimer, please use this as a disclaimer. I'm not teaching the inner engineering course. I'm not the source. I cannot be the source. I'm just, I would say, I have learned it from Sadhguru, and it can only be learned by the source, which is Sadhguru and the inner engineering course. So you got to learn it from the source and not from me. I'm just sharing my experience, what my experiences are after going through the whole the course and the inner engineering and the Sambhavi Mahamudra and my regular practices after I've completed it on November 26th. I'm going to just share my experience, and that's all. Even if I'm sharing some yoga, some asanas, it does not mean that I'm teaching you. I'm just sharing what I'm doing in my daily schedule, and do not use this as like I'm teaching it to you, but it's just I'm allowed to share my experience, and that's what I'm doing. So one of the short videos, I got a comment that I should not be sharing these things, and I totally agree with it. I'm not getting offended by it, but it's just that I'm sharing my experience, and I'm allowed to, so that other can get influenced and understand what is the inner engineering course, because some or the other they might have heard about it, but they don't know exactly what it is. So I'm going to quickly share what are the steps. So, this is my dashboard of the inner engineering course. This is step 1. So these are the lessons. These are the initial starting few exercises that I get to learn from Sadhguru. On step 2, these are some of the sessions. Step 3, these are some yoga practices that were shared. In step 4, again, Ardha Siddhasana and some of the psychological sessions, some guided practice. And then on step 7, I've completed it, for which I've received this congratulation note from Sadhguru. So this is about it. So what I'm going to share here is my experience after completing the Sambhavi Mahamudra. Now, why I'm doing this on a regular basis. And so after this Kriya, you'll be redirected to Sadhguru app to help facilitate your next 40 days session. So I'll be honest with you, I'm doing this Kriya once a day, and it can only be done on a light stomach. So the first thing in the morning is the ideal time. If not, if you have missed it, then you can do it in the evening, which is precisely after 4 hours from a heavy lunch. So let's suppose you have your lunch at 2 or 2:30, you can do your asanas at 6 or 6:30 in the evening. So these are the 2 times, and these are the only 2 times, I believe. Or if your schedules are here and there, and you can accordingly calculate the hours, and so you make sure that you're light on stomach when you're doing these asanas. Now, so I've been doing this once every day, and I missed few days due to some of the other reasons, but I always got back to doing it on the next day. And don't, if you have already got initiated to Sambhavi, I would say it is just my experience. You'll feel the pressure that you need to complete the mandala, which is the 40-day cycle. It is just because to create that habit, like every morning when you wake up, you just take your brush and then brush your teeth. It's just because of your habits, right? So what if it becomes a habit? You will treat this as like you have to do this either in the first thing in the morning or in the evening, but it has to be within your daily schedule. And that's why the mandala thing, right? You have to do this 40 days to get to, to understand and to create this habit on a daily basis. So that's about it. So, I if I'm missing 1 day or 2 days, I don't get pressurized to complete the vanilla, because I know I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. But I'll focus on the very day, and make sure that if I've completed my kriyas, right? Now I'm going to share some of the, I would not say benefits, or I would share some of the experiential benefits that I have received from these kriyas. First thing, discipline. That, either way the other, I am dedicating myself for 30 minutes, and it in this 30 minutes I'm doing my asanas, and I'm doing my meditation, and all the steps that I've shared. I mean, I can keep going on what are the steps, and I'll just demonstrate some of them throughout this video, so you know what exactly are those steps. So firstly, let me share my experiential understanding of the engineering course. So first thing, you got to keep your back straight. That's the whole essence of everything. So the overall engineering course is about 20 to 25 hours, or maybe more than that. I'm just estimating it. But the whole important aspect of it is that you're like an antenna, and if you just do a little adjustment to your whole posture balance, then you have the potential to receive the universal perception, like perception from the universe, and then you can get a lot of aspects from different and it's just about adjusting yourself, your posture. So which starts with your lower back, because in the modern DNA, we don't, I mean, I see a lot of people, and even I see myself, I saw myself that I always slouch down every time I was doing something. In this DNA, we are always sitting in front of a computer, we are doing work from home or whatever or the other. Computer is the essential part of our life, so we always slouch down, and then we do not stress more on our lower back. So it is the essence. So the whole preparatory asanas, again, I'm just sharing my experience. Don't get offended, I'm not teaching anything. So for me, the preparatory asanas for the Sambhavi Mahamudra is to strengthening the lower back. The patangasana, the butterfly, the rock your baby, and then Nadi Vivajana, the cat stretch, are all to strengthen your, or make it flexible, the lower back, because that's the essence. So imagine the whole spine, the spinal cord and the brain as like a tree, or like a flower, like brain being the flower, and the roots of that flower is your spine. So if you just water the root of that tree, or the flower, whichever it is, then the flower will grow, and the leaves and the tree would grow if you water the root of that tree. So that is what the preparatory asanas are, which is like to water your root, which is the lower back, strengthening it, and then you'll eventually get, you'll be in a position to perceive from the universe on different aspects, and you'll get better at living. That's the whole point, right? Why are we doing anything, or why are we doing any of these asanas and inner ranging course or whatever or the other? Why are we doing this? To live better. That's the essence, right? So once you have your lower back strengthened, then you would have so whenever you are under stress, or any psychological stress, if you just keep your back straight and just focus on your breathing, you would find solution to most of your problems, and which is within you, because all the problems are within you. Not your brain might conclude any situation which are external, and blame it in the external world, that this is the reason why you're feeling the way you're feeling. But it's not, it's all internal. Whichever feelings you have currently, it's because of your internal chemistry, right? You're producing such hormones because of which you are feeling certain ways. So it's all about managing the chemistry with internally. And how can you better do it? It's by, of course, your regular kriyas, and then of course have good thoughts. So I'll just quickly demonstrate some of them. Throughout this video, so you'll get to know the steps, which of course I've shared on my short videos. If you're keeping a tab on it, so preparatory asanas are very important, which I feel, because I'm just following it. I'm doing my preparatory asanas before I go into the Sambhavi Mahamudra. And to begin with, I do a 1 minute or 2 minute inner engineering crash course. Now, I can share you right now, which I'll be sharing, but to understand it in depth, you have to go through the inner engineering course, because it has about 20 to 25 hours of content, which you need to understand from the source and not from me, because I might tell you something in 1 minute or 2 minutes, but you cannot understand the depth of it. So in the inner engineering crash course, what I do is that the first thought that I instill in my mind, which is that I'm playing a role in this universe. I have a role. I have different roles. I'm not playing one single role. I'm playing a son. I'm playing a husband. I'm playing a friend. I'm playing an employee. I'm playing, some of the other roles. So whatever roles I'm playing, the rules are mine. Meaning, I have no control whatsoever in anything that I'm doing, but I have complete control on one thing, which is how I react to anything. And most importantly, how I react to my thoughts, my own thoughts. Because if I'm being judgmental, if I'm comparing something, whichever or the other, it's in my head, right? It's it's within me. So you don't have any control over your thoughts. You cannot control which thoughts that would pop into your head. You cannot control that, but you can control how you would deal with them, like you would control how you deal with other person. Because if you treat other person just as a thought, and it is a thought, whatever the other person is reacting, you're perceiving it some of the other way, and getting some thoughts around it, and then you have complete control on how you would deal with them. So I'm sort of reminding myself, like, whatever it is, I have complete control over my reaction. So that is one thing. So I do it very, very briefly, because I have that experiential understanding of what I'm sort of reminding myself. The second thing is that every moment is inevitable, and which I've shared in one of the sessions, because that was the key discussion that came out of the conclusion that came out of, and it is a fact. Every moment is inevitable. And if you treat every moment that is inevitable, then you would not have any problem, because you would not get this feeling that, why is this happening? Right? It is happening. So you have to deal with it. So you don't get this question that why it is happening within yourself, because you know that every moment is inevitable. It had to happen, and that's why it happened. Now, how you deal with it, it's a totally different perspective. Now you're thinking about an action, not why it happened. So it's a very important thing that I keep reminding myself, that every moment is inevitable. And the third thing is that just imagining myself as the mother of the whole universe, and all the living creatures of this universe, because at the end of the day, every one of us is just alive. It's a very good example is as a baby, because it does not have any religion. It does not know its name, color. It does not have any belief system or anything, right? It's just pure life, and that's why it's so exuberant, and like a dog, right? Because it does not have any beliefs, any thought process or whatever. It's just a pure, vibrant, exuberant energy. And that's what we are. Every one of us are. It's just that we have thick layers of our beliefs. We have thick layers of our mental structure that we have built since the time of birth, and since the time of the knowledge that we are gathering. So knowledge is very limited. So you cannot think that you're the most knowledgeable person, because no one is. Knowledge is something that you keep gathering, and then and not make something, don't have a fixated idea of what it is, right? It cannot be like that. So again, I cannot make you understand all this in just in this video, because again, I'm not the source. I might be a source for different other purposes, maybe down the line. if I'm a motivational speaker, which I'm intended to be, and in down the line. But first, I need to understand what I'm thinking and myself, in that zone, that I would believe in that I believe in myself, that yes, I'm in that position to motivate others. But it's just I want to share my experience so that you get to learn what this whole program is all about. So after the engineering crash course, I get to do those prepared, those the Sambhavi Kriya, which are, I'm continuously sharing throughout this video, and again, you will not learn anything from me, because you need to understand each and every aspect of it, like the arm chanting, why it is important, and how you would do it from from the basic of your understanding. It's not about chanting, it's about how you have that understanding, why you're doing what you're doing. That is the key essence of anything that you're doing in life, right? So that's the whole process. And I'm going to share whatever that comes to my mind, and if I feel that it is worth sharing, just my experience, I will do that. So please, if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'm going to see you on my next video. Thank you. Bye.